lovely to join you this evening and for you to join us. I've got a fabulous guest who I'm going to interview this evening. And what can I say? Wow. She's absolutely fabulous. And I know you're going to enjoy the show. So before we go down that road, let's go and do a little bit of this. And I'll be back in a moment. So I hope your week has been good so far, and here we are on a Friday evening. It's over here in Spain. I'll tell you what, it's one of the most windiest evenings we've had for ages and ages. But there you go. It just goes with that, doesn't it? Funny old weather, and I hope it's nice wherever you are. If it hasn't been, don't worry. It may be horrible out there, but it's warm in here. How's that? Does that sound nice? Sound nice? Sound romantic? Keep it all going. And Lisa says, hello everyone. Good evening, Lisa. Very nice to see you on the show. And to everybody else who's joining us so far, yes, your numbers are rolling up. It's lovely to see you all. Okay, so what can I tell you about today? Before I introduce my guest. Birthday. Today's numbers are very interesting, actually. We've got 4 2s and 2 1s in the dates. Yes, we're on the 22nd of the 1st, 2021. And yes, you'll notice that that's what it is. Okay, so also what I'd like to say to you is when we add up these numbers into numerology, it comes up to number 1. What does this mean? Well, whatever you're up to at the moment, it's something refreshing, something beginning, something to start something. Maybe you want to plan something new in your life. Maybe you want to start a new healthy phase. Maybe you want to lock down even more. Oh dear God, we hear those words. Those words are crazy, isn't it? But we're free on here, aren't we? We're free. Yeah, we're free. We're free to talk, to chat, to laugh, to all those wonderful things. Should we try that? What do you think? Secretary says hi, and hi, Secretary. Hi, and Deb Harris says hello, everyone. Lovely to see you guys. And right, there we go. So, okay, come on now. I know you want to say, come on, get on with the show and get Priscilla on. You can see her name is just down there. Yeah, all right, just coming. Just before we do that stuff, guys, this is what we want you to do, please. Do this as we go through the show. Just do this. If you do this, we'll be so happy with you. We'll be sending out oodles of love. Oodles of love and thanks and kisses and all sorts. All right, we're getting carried away, but how about a bit of this? You see, Debs has done this already. She's down there and she says the word shared. This is what we'd love you to do, guys, especially if you're coming through on either of the channels, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Please, can you share? Because just down your right-hand side there, it says share. That's it. Share button. Do not be afraid. But share. Share. We'll be very, very happy indeed. Okay, so tonight, what can I say? I've never heard of one of these people. So I'm going to do a build up here. Priscilla's in the background going, oh, for God's sake, what's he going on with that? Okay. Anyway, I've never heard of one of these people. And I never realised that this actually took place. But my lovely guest is a very special photographer. And I'm going to leave no more to imagination other than I'm going to introduce her to, so she could tell you all that she does. And then you guys have probably got loads of questions. And it'd be lovely, lovely, lovely to hear from you, to see what you think, what you're going on there. And away we go. How's that? Sound good? Sound good. Okay, let's do this. So I'm just going to go and find out there if she's near the doorbell, because just waiting for the doorbell to ring and I know I can let her in. Okay, just go and listen. Listen quietly. Ready? There she is. There she is. Hey. Let's bring you in. Here is the fabulous Priscilla. Priscilla, how lovely to meet you.
Hi, Phil.
Good evening. Nice being welcome on to the show. And from us over here in Spain to you. There you are. Have a little hoot. Now, your background there looks absolutely fabulous. I love that. So you're in your garden, is that right?
Yeah, I'm in my office in my garden.
In my office in my garden. I mean, who has an office in their garden? Who? Priscilla does. That's absolutely lovely. Okay, so we were talking about I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago, weren't we? We got chatting and decided that we need to get you onto the show because of your job, and absolutely fabulous and lovely. So, Priscilla, please introduce yourself and please tell us what it is you do.
Okay, my name is Priscilla. Obviously, you see on the screen, and I'm a funographer.
Funographer. Have you heard of that out there, guys? Haven't you? Yes, I thought you had. I could tell. Yes. They go, you what?
That's the person that takes pictures, that photographs funerals.
Photographs funerals. Now, that is so interesting because we photograph christenings, we photograph weddings, but not many people photograph funerals. I've never seen one.
No, it's something that I've seen when I was younger.
Okay.
The funerals that I was at, it was quite common in the Caribbean community.
Okay.
And it's something that I did see. And then when my mum died in 1996, and my older brother is actually a fashion and music photographer.
Okay.
And I asked him to bring his camera, and he didn't bring it. He was upset, really, and I was disappointed because I just thought, well, if I had the camera, I would take the pictures. Anyway, the day went past and there were so many beautiful moments, and I just thought, oh God, that should have been captured, that could have been captured. I was so upset and disappointed. And from that day onwards, I decided to get more into photography myself and to take it from there. But I actually decided to go into funerals when I was in my second year at university. So I was 40 when I went back to university.
Yeah.
And my second year, I decided that's what I wanted to do.
So you became a photographer?
I did, yeah.
And a specialised photographer in this area. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I know some people here, they find it's an awkward thing. And I must admit, I'll put this up there. There's Deb. She says, always wanted to take photographs of a funeral, but never wanted to be disrespectful. And I can understand why you're saying that, Des, because unless someone actually wants you there, to just go and take photographs is an awkward thing, isn't it? But to have someone photograph it as a memory of different things is incredible. It must be a very touching experience for people who have lost someone. Right. Okay. People have lost someone here, and I think it's a very special thing to capture those moments, because life is life, isn't it? There's the beginning of life, the middle of it, and the celebrations true to it, and I get that. Yes, even Debs here says so true. Helen says, I took pictures of my dad at his funeral in Ireland to send to family as it was lockdown. So I think that's beautiful. So you can share those moments there.
Can I just show you a couple of my books briefly?
Okay, just as you do that, can you see the little box on the top right-hand side of your screen? Top right side, you should see a little box. If you want to, just press that and you'll see the feed of everybody coming in.
Oh, the little box, yeah.
Yeah, little box, that's it. And you'll see all the chats. And as you're talking there, just want to say just to read back up again, this is lovely. Emma Paslow, I hope I pronounced that right. Good evening, Phil and Priscilla. I'm new and would love to tap in. Love Spirit, Spirit World. Yes, I know what you mean, Spirit. Yes. I know it's a typo thing. I know what you mean. But yes, Emma, lovely to see you, and lovely to welcome you on as well.
Thank you. So I'll quickly show you all. This is what the finished book will look like. This is just
go that way a bit. No, other way. That's it. Keep going. Up.
Yeah.
That's it. There we go. That's it. Wow.
That's a particular front cover that I did. And then inside, I'll give you an example of, this is what the flowers kind of look like. I'm showing you a picture of flowers with a card attached.
Yes. You're wrong way. That way. That's it. Yeah.
Moving on there. Okay. And there you'll see words. You'll see whoever sent it. That's one of the issues. You never know who sent the flowers until, you just don't remember. And so if you can see them before the cards get taken off, then you'll remember who sent them. And that makes it that much more special. I'll quickly show you another.
This is so lovely. This is so beautiful.
Right, this is
oh my goodness.
I knew this was a horse and cart. This turned up outside the house. So yeah, it was a dash through the crowds to get that picture. Oh, let's try and get it straighter.
That's it. So
this was in two halves. It was so many people here, 500 people. So I had to split it into the service and then the committal, which I can do at times. So I'll just quickly show you one picture so you get an idea. This is the scale of the crowds.
Oh, wow. There. Yes. Wow. That's a huge crowd. And I've got a story to tell you there as well.
Really big. So, and a lot of them are black and white when I do, but then the flowers are clearly in colour, so you can see. And sometimes I'll shoot certain pictures in colour. It just all depends on what I'm trying to capture. I'll know when I look through the lens.
Do you know what? I think it's very poignant that, as you say that some of them are in black and white. Because some of the black and white really captures emotion on people's faces, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, and one of the questions I get asked a lot, do you prefer a summer funeral or a winter funeral? Well, I would say a winter. Because in the summer, you get glare from the sun, you have to deal with shadow. But in the winter, you get some really strong moving images because it's overcast. It's, more beautiful and silent. There's a silence about the winter.
Yes. So I went to a funeral similar to one of those years and years ago. Well, nothing to do with me. I was actually in the prison service. And one of the prisoners lost his father. His father passed away. He was Caribbean, and we were going to this London cemetery. One of the big ones. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a City of London or something like that. But it's a big one, and the people who were going in to do a recce of it to make sure health and safety was okay. They went there and just said, "Yes, it's fine, no problem at all." Oh, we got a little bit of echo there. So hopefully it's gone now. But anyway, well, what I thought was absolutely amazing. I went there with this prisoner, and there were two officers and myself. The prisoner was there. We wanted to go and find, see all the relatives. We went to the church. In the church, I thought this is quite full. It's a full church. All the seats on the ground around the tops, around the top there, and the priest was very nice and great service. He got to see his father in the coffin, close it down. Then we went outside, and we went into the grounds where he's going to be buried. I've never seen so many people in my life. It frightened the life out of me, and I had to switch on to survival mode because that everybody there could see his son handcuffed to me, and then thinking, why can't he be free to go and experience his dad being buried? And I had to try and explain to people. I had to come on with absolute charm and niceness. We are having a very respectful day for his father. Please let his please let this guy say goodbye to his father. And then after a while, I had a lot of people on my side because I was treating the family with everybody with dignity, respect, and saying how important this is. And we have been so privileged to be able to come out to a funeral like this and meet you all. And then that was it. It started to turn around, but we were there for hours and hours and hours. An amount of spirits. There were spirits with spirits. Amount of alcohol that went into the coffin. I thought, blimey, the place is going to blow up.
Yeah. It is a big affair. They are a big affair.
They are. But it was so. I remember that day. It was so moving. So, and I came back thinking, wow, it could either go one or two ways. It could have really gone badly, or just having to work with these people and say, look, let's all try and work and get on and enjoy without how you, if you put it like that, or to give grace to the fact that this guy's father passed over. He was very thankful when we got back to jail. Very, very thankful to the prisoner, which was nice.
Yeah, I did a funeral for a friend who was in jail when his father died. And
right.
He came out. Yeah, and he had his guard with him, and he wanted group pictures with his sons. So he asked me can I put something over his wrist so you could see that he's handcuffed. So I put a jacket over his wrists, and and pushed them in tight. It was beautiful, beautiful picture.
Oh, so, it's lovely, isn't it? You can still, unfortunately, differ. Things are a bit difficult, aren't they? Wow. Well. Okay, so how long have you been doing this for?
I started in 2010, so it's been 11 years now. Yeah.
And
11 years.
And do people actually request you?
They do, yeah, they do. There's a particular funeral director in East London called Griggs and Son, and my books are in every single one of their establishments. So yeah, some people do ask for me, actually say, oh God, it needs to be this person. Because the way I shoot it, it's more from a photojournalistic way. It's very natural, and I'm capturing things that, you wouldn't expect a standard photographer to capture. The families forget that I'm there. I do everything with a zoom lens, so I'm quite a way away most of the time. The only time I have to get closer is when it's time if I'm taking pictures around the grave for the committal. Then I've got to get in a bit closer. Other than that, they forget that I'm there. They don't know that I'm there. But there has been times where the procession is approaching and there's people in the way, and I have to literally go, you need to all move out the way. I'm sorry, but the family need this. You need to move out the way. And I'm parting crowds like Noah. And then I just go straight in. And then, I'm standing in front of the cortege. It's coming down the road. That's the only time everybody can see me, and I need to push myself in then. And then I'm thanking everybody afterwards, obviously, and backing away. And then sometimes I'll be inside the church as well. So the camera goes on silent, so you can't hear when I take a shot. I never use flash, obviously, because that would be too distracting.
Yes.
And so that they don't know I'm there. I just sit to the side of the pew and take the shot that they need.
I tell you what, it's absolutely breathtaking just having this conversation with you. We get a little bit of echo every now and then. It's probably due to the weather over here, but it's gone now. Good. The producer says, remember, if you have a reading on one of the Cafe Clairvoyance shows, please post a comment or a review in the Cafe Clairvoyance page or in the Cafe Clairvoyance group, not in Messenger, because it means we get it personally rather than going on the page. And you'll be entered into a draw for a full and free reading with spiritual medium me. How's that? Okay, so guys, there you go. And right, we also say hello, Tonya. Tonya, very nice to see you. Very nice to see you too. Okay, great. Lovely to see so many of you lovely people on tonight as well. Yes, this is if you just joined us, I'm joined by the wonderful Priscilla Etienne. She's a lovely, lovely lady. She's a funographer, yes, which means takes pictures of funerals. And it is lovely, isn't it? Because I used to live next door to, in fact, both Deborah and I used to live next door to a cemetery in Dunstable. And it wasn't particularly big, but it's very old. And I think the earliest, or the oldest, shall I say, the oldest grave, I think went back to the 1880s. And one of the graves, which had been barren for ages, eventually had a stick in it. And they said, this is to Wendy. This is for Wendy. It's only a stick because they couldn't have a stone because the family had just disappeared somewhere. This is for Wendy. She was murdered by her husband. And that was it. Like, oh, that what happened. Poor woman. Dear, but you find out these things. But then other ones were like the shipwreck on Jersey in 1898 with a ship that ran aground, and some of the people there who passed away were from Dunstable, so their bodies were taken from Guernsey all the way across the back over the channel, back up to Dunstable to be buried there, and quite a few people there were on that ship trying to get to France or Guernsey. They got shipwrecked during a storm. So that was easy. That was interesting. Yes. Okay. So anyway. So but also, yes, you're going to say something.
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for you. I'll speak after you.
but I absolutely get fascinated walking through graveyards and reading all the stones and some of the lovely messages And but then you come to the recent funerals and the flowers that have been laid down on the day, and it's lovely to see them all. You just read who they're from. And I must admit, then you go back a few days later and the weather's changed and flowers go everywhere and name cards disappear in the rain and you can't see who it's from. So I can imagine, I can see here to do what you're doing here is incredible. So you capture those moments so people know who came along, and the lovely messages on the cards are just, it must be heaven.
Yeah, it's very nice. And there's certain things I've picked up, I think, from the some funeral directors as well. So if I go into a chapel to photograph a person that's died, I'll go in and I'll always bow to the coffin first and say hello, their first name, and then I'll talk to them for a little while and say, like, I've come here to take some pictures. This is a request of your daughter or your wife. I hope you don't mind. And I do my best to capture you in the most truest way possible.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's beautiful to be respectful, to talk to them in their first name and bow to them and respect them. I had the wonderful opportunity of taking a eulogy at a funeral, which was about 2 years ago here in Spain. And because the lady who passed over, she was a spiritual lady and she didn't want a normal funeral. She wanted a spiritualist or a medium. And the church I was with, working at, in fact, Helen, who is also joining us tonight, will know about this. And I got this call saying, "Can you go and do this eulogy?" Which because it was closer to me, because I was further inland of Spain at the time. So off I drove, took it. I'll tell you what, some of the most beautiful experiences I had in my life.
Yeah, eulogies are important, actually. I mean, people give me eulogies, and I usually get them before the funeral. Because if you try to ask them for them afterwards, people are still distraught. They're still trying to come to terms with it. And they just won't, they're not contactable as easily. No. So I get the eulogy beforehand, and then I'll put that into the book along with the photograph of the person that read it. Yes. So then when they open, they'll see the words and they'll see the person that read it and go, "Oh, yeah, that was really, I remember that." And there's so much to it. And there's so much joy to be taken from it. And I do pick up the odd thing here and there. I had some whispers last night, funny enough, but I have.
We'll come back into that in a minute. We'll go back to that in a minute. But I'd like to discuss that a little bit with you. So there, but I know what you mean by the eulogy. I was, I arrived at. Sometimes it's embarrassing. But I arrived at the church. It's late because I was trying to find the place. Eventually, I found it. And the son, the mother's son, was there trying to read the eulogy, and I got in there and I just walked straight in. I said, "Would you like me to take over?" He said, "Oh, you'll feel great. Yes, here it is." And read it out, and everything there was like quite somber, quite quiet. And then it got to the part of the eulogy, and I was reading it through, and it said, yes, that her name was Lorraine, and that Lorraine was she had travelled a lot in her life. She'd been to Argentina. She'd been to North America. She'd been to France. She'd been around most of Europe. She wanted to travel to other countries but couldn't. But she travelled here and travelled there. And I just suddenly stopped. I said, "This woman did half get around a bit, didn't she?" And everybody just went from this, "Whoa!" leapt up in laughter. And that was it. I could put the humour in it without losing respect to the families. But it then became, they always said at the end, "My God, that was so nice of the spirit that you put into it to make it an important occasion rather than something too serious." And I think it's got to be like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been at a funeral before and they've had a comedian come on and do 6 minutes, and he told a couple of jokes. That was really, I've never seen that before, so I thought that was really good. Really funny. So I've seen some really funny things. I've also seen it where the person's gonna get up and grab the coffin and be distraught, and you're kind of waiting for it. And I've seen it and I'm thinking she's gonna go, and they just literally leap onto the coffin, and that's when I stop taking pictures. I don't take pictures of that because that somebody's not in their right mind. And I, even though it would be nice to for my own records, I just don't do it because I just think, it's not a good idea. But I've seen it happen. I've seen babies do some really lovely, sweet things. I saw a young girl. She had a bottle in her, drinking her milk, and her grandmother was laid out in the living room. And she went straight up to the coffin. She took the bottle out of her mouth and she said, "Do you want some, Nan?" I was trying to give it to her. I took pictures of that. That was marvellous.
Oh, like, fantastic.
You know, I've seen, I saw a beautiful image of a woman who lost her son, sadly. He was only young. He accidentally drowned in her swimming pool.
Yes.
And she was sitting with her other son, and they were literally sitting on the edge of where the opening of the grave is, with their legs dangling down, as if they were sitting on the edge of a riverbank. And they were sitting there and they were talking to him and saying like that everyone had cleared away, and she was saying, right, what should we tell him? Should we tell him a story? And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful image, and I captured that. It was just so pretty, so nice. I've seen some really, unusual things and funny things and very poignant things. And that moment, once it's there and it goes, that's it. You've missed it. So if you don't capture it, it's gone forever. So that's the part people like. And the distance as well. People living in other countries and they can't make it to the funeral.
Yeah.
Then you can send books out. They can have books sent out to them.
Yes.
So they can see, what happened, who was there. And also that's also important for siblings, because you've got siblings that are quite young if they've lost their brother or sister or mother, and they won't remember a lot of it. So when they're older, they can
so
go back
true, so true,
and say, that's the bit that's really important, I think, as well.
I think it's what a wonderful job you do. I'm thinking to bring back that memory for the end of the physical life of the families, to be a history of that person. It's almost like it captures that moment in history, doesn't it, of what people's thoughts are of that person. I think it's incredible. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I discovered something when I was doing my when I was training and learning about it all. It's that I always wondered why funeral directors looked like a living room. You'd walk in and it was very much like a living room, carpet, swag curtains, all posh. And it was because in the Victorian era, they used to lay the body out in the parlour, and it was very much the dark colours. They had period colours, dark greens, dark blacks, thick carpets, that kind of thing. And so once the funeral director established himself and took the job away from the families, they decided to recreate that parlour within their own establishment. So people would go in there and feel like they were back in their living room.
Oh, that's nice. It's got that sort of thing there, hasn't it? We've had another chap on the show before. He's used to be a funeral director himself, and he was telling us some hilarious stories. He's a really funny man, and but he's very different to yourself. What you've got there is the emotion that must pick up, and the feeling of everything must be amazing, absolutely amazing. Tell you a little bit of a funny story. A friend of mine said that he went to a funeral. A friend of his passed away, and the parents there, and the young family were there, and the priest was there talking to everybody, and trying to remember his words. But I thought that it's just how this moment just turned. And this priest said, we are in life, and when we are death, we are but dust. And this little boy turned around to his mum and said, "Mum, what's butt dust?" Well, so everybody fell about. He said everybody just didn't know where to look. So even the family of the bereaved were absolutely fell around her laughter. Yeah. So now it must be the Joker thing. If you got some butt dust, they go, you're on your way out.
That is funny. Children do make it a wonderful.
They do.
They do.
Oh dear, it's funny, very funny. Okay, right. We're going to do a little bit of this, and then we're going to come back in a mo. So, very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're halfway through the show. Those who just joined us recently here, hello, Joe. Hello, some other people here joined us. Nabila, they came in a bit later, and Karen, she came in a bit later too. Just want to say we've got a wonderful guest on this evening, the wonderful Priscilla Etienne, who's a funographer, and we're having a wonderful discussion about funerals and the fact here that sometimes we miss those moments in life, those memories, and how important it is to capture the end of life just as much as we do with christenings and marriages. And some of the stories you've actually been saying and the way you capture those moments, I think, is incredible. So, are you an artist in like normal painting artist or anything like that? Is there anything else that captures this, or is it just something you want that unique thing with photography?
Well, I definitely wanted the unique thing with the photography, but it's kind of led me on to writing journalism as well. I've got a funography blog where a lot of the funerals I attend, I write about them.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of different, some pictures, and I just talk about the funerals, and you get an essence of the person and who they were and that kind of thing. And I also do photo life books as well. So, most of them are centered around, death, but also a lot of it is about life, whatever moves me, whatever I'm interested in. So, there's also the writing sort of comes hand in hand in a way now with the photography,
Okay.
So, yeah.
I can imagine it's a beautiful job. I must admit, I think I would quite enjoy something like that, or watching you work. I think it'd be a beautiful experience. Then seeing the pictures come up and how that affects people, and just to watch that, I think is absolutely lovely. Wow.
You know what else, Bill? I must say quickly is that they're not like a wedding. With a wedding, there's pretty much an order of events. You know what's going to happen next. You know when the first dance is coming. You know when it's time to sit down for the buffet. You know when the bride's coming, the music starts. Each funeral is different. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if there's going to be a sudden, display of emotion, a family argument. You'll see men kissing other men on the lips that you never ever see.
You don't normally see it. No, that is funny, isn't it? Because you do funny things you don't normally don't you?
That's right. Yeah, you do see so many different things. So, yeah, it's very unpredictable, and that's another thing I like about it.
Yes. Just say, Chelsea, hope you feel better soon. Sorry you're not very well. Chelsea's all the way over across the pond in San Diego area-ish. Yes, she'll probably argue with me and say, it's not San Diego, it's just north of it. Somewhere else, I forget where it is now. But no, I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, so we're all saying, look, it's even Helen. Helen is a wonderful medium, and she's saying, I hope you feel better soon. In fact, Helen's joining me on the 5th of, I think it's the 5th of February, I think it is, for Evening of Clairvoyance on this show, on a Friday night show. Okay, please can we have details for Priscilla's blog, please? What's the details of your blog? How do we, if you want to, no, you might not, if you want to at the end of the show or after the show there on our Facebook feed, just type in the details of your blog. I'm sure people would love to read it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll do that. I even did one for my cat. I had a cat called Silver, and he was a very fluffy Maine Coon. He was beautiful, and I had him he was 19 years old. He was really old, but he got attacked by a fox. Yeah, he got attacked, and he had to be put down. And so I went through the whole process of grief with the cat, and I even wrote about that. And each day and how it made me feel, because it was a different type of grief. That's what I called it, a different type of grief, but it was nonetheless grief. So
yes. We've got people here said that they would love to have a read of your blog. Priscilla, I tell you what, you're one of the most interesting people I've come across in a very long time. And I think you've got a real sense of warmth and magic about you, which is absolutely delightful. So, no, it's absolutely lovely to have you on and join us today. And yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bless you. Okay, right. We've got loads of you lot here, loads of you lot out there asking for readings, things like this. Now, Priscilla, you pick up things every now and then, don't you?
I do, yeah. I do pick up things every now and again. I've been at funerals, and I've literally, it feels like the person's whispering in my ear, telling me things, and I'll just relay certain things back. I'll say, oh, does anyone know? And they'll just all look and go, yeah, that was my Aunt May. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. Yeah. And a lot of it as well happens when I'm sleeping. I wake up and then I write everything down. It's one of the first things I do, because I get told stuff and I don't know some of the people, but some of the people that I do, and I just write it all down and I start to relay it as and when I'm being told to. So I might get a phone call from somebody, and then I feel like I'm being told to tell that person this. So I'll tell them and ask them if it relates to them, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, actually," or "I'm not sure, but I'll ask," kind of thing.
No, that sounds, it's absolutely, it's brilliant to be able to do this. Right, I'm just going to break down the list here because I'm looking for, where she is. Ah, yes, Emma did this first of all. So Emma, we're going to bring you in first of all. She'd love a little reading, and I know you haven't said anything else here. Oh, the colour white, that's good, colour white. So, now, what I do here is I ask for people's colours because I like to tune into the aura. If I pick up the aura colour, then I tend to pick up the magic and the spirits and the energies around people. If you would like to say anything as I'm working here, by all means, drop in there, Priscilla, and just say whatever it is that you would like to. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Priscilla. She's just first time she's been on the show here, so let's have a little feel. Now, sorry, Emma. Sorry, Emma. Just gently feeding here for you. One thing I'd like to say here is I've got a very nice gentleman who just stands beside me, and I don't know where this came from, but I just heard Joe out there. And also, I would like to say here, this colour white that you chose here is very interesting. But it's also about new starts, fresh beginnings, or reinventing yourself, but going refreshing time. Would you understand if I said to you, Emma, that you are either practicing to be a medium, picking up energy to be a medium? There's a lot going on around you, which is quite spiritual at the moment. And I think this is evolving. And would you understand you're going through a lot of, I guess I'd say, emotional change within yourself? A lot of it. And I've got a gentleman here as well who's got a tuppenny bit piece, and he's tossing it in the air. And he's like a tinker. This chap's like a tinker of some description. He's tossing it in the air, this 2-bit piece. And he's just flicking a coin. So would you understand, Emma, that you're coming up to a time where you're slowly thinking about making, maybe you're going to make some decisions on things, So would you understand about your thinking about going in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say, but you're maybe thinking of doing something quite special yourself? So, Emma, that seems to be there. And your kitchen is a very active area of your house. Very active indeed. And yes, that's what I'm picking up at the moment. I can wrap it on a little bit more. If you feel you want to say anything, Priscilla, by all means do.
Okay. Orange.
Okay.
Orange. I've just been told orange.
Orange.
No
okay.
idea.
Okay. Well, she's saying yes to everything at the moment. So that's nice.
Oh, the colour orange, not the fruit I'm getting.
The colour orange. Okay.
I'm not getting anything else.
Okay, no worries. I'll keep going here. I'm also being told here, I've got a lovely gentleman here who's talking about his clocks, because he loved his clocks. This man going about clocks here, but there's a double message here, and I'm picking this up with him, Emma. And the other part of the message here is, would you understand to take your time? And yes, and also he's getting you to look at you, but in a loving way. And would you understand this is also about your diet, also about what you're eating and what you shouldn't be eating, and how to get yourself back into a healthy state. But you've come up from something. It's like your health hasn't been so good. So now you're coming back up to something better. But you still got to keep an eye on your health. And they're showing me here to keep working on yourself to go upwards. The nice feeling here. The colour orange. What does the colour orange mean to you, Priscilla?
Well, actually, I'm getting orange balloons.
Orange balloons. Okay.
Orange balloons, and I'm getting a large, kind of portly man.
Yep.
Portly man.
Yeah.
Connected to these balloons somehow, but I don't know how.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Now, sometimes the most funniest thing going But to hear someone say that in normal conversation, people think, yeah, I don't get it. But to Emma, it probably means something very poignant, that there was a man who, maybe it's around this date, this time, man with orange balloons. Okay. Like a jokey. Well, I'm not saying he's a jokey man, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I'm getting the tingles with you. I'm getting the tingles. Like you pick up things a lot more. They're there, and they're just learning to come through you. They come through it. It's a very nice energy here. But it's funny actually. I look at you, and I can pick up the energy. This is really weird. Well, I do pick up this portly man. And would you also understand here, Emma, that there's news about a baby, but I don't think it's yours. You have a baby, but I see a boy, baby boy, but it's not yours, but it's around you somewhere here, because I'm hearing here about a baby boy. Priscilla, you've got to come on the show more often, because now I'm looking at you, I'm picking up all these messages, but they're not for you, they're for Emma. This is bizarre. How bizarre? How bizarre? Yes. Okay. Right. Okay, Emma, I hope that helped you out there. Let's go over and look up the line here and see who else came through. And yes, we're just going to go through a line, just pick up who came out. And right, okay. So when you pick up things about people, is it something that you see? Is it something that you feel? How does that work for you?
When I'm in waking moments, I get pictures.
Pictures, okay.
I can picture. I'm being shown a picture, and then I'm also getting told a word or a sentence or a name.
Okay.
But when I'm sleeping, I'm being told long sentences, names, places, stuff like that. Yeah. So I just wait and write them down, and then I might ask somebody that I know, do you have any connection to this? I'm getting a feeling I should be telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes I'm told that it's that person it's for.
Okay.
So yeah, just then it was like the word balloons was told me, and the picture came a little while after.
Okay, of the portly man. Yes, the portly man. Okay, brilliant. Okay, I always have problems pronouncing this lovely lady's name, but I'm going to give it a go. Here we go. If you know this name, that's great. But Mariska, I think I've said it right. Mariska, I'm not even pronounce the surname. No, I'm not even going to go there. But she's colour purple for me, and a general reading for me, please. Yes, certainly. Colour purple. I love the colour purple. It's a very spiritual colour. I love the energy of the colour. And as I'm working here, I would also... Oh, I've got a lovely, lovely lady here who wants to come bounding in. I'm hearing a name. Hearing a name to me sounds like Anne. The name sounds like Anne. And as I'm picking her up, this lovely lady, and she's looking at me because I've said it wrong. But it's like Anne. No, it could be Agatha, but no, Annie or something like this. I'm just, I'm still getting told off. But a name is like Anne. And she's looking at me, and she's very energetic. She says here that she didn't really have the patience to sit down and do any work like this, but she was quite spiritual herself. And she's bobbing around, she says here, and she says to you, whatever plans you think you're doing, Mariska, I wouldn't fix yourself on anything just yet, whatever plans you think you're doing, because things are going to change, as they do, don't they? And this is what they're saying to me. They tend to be, you're going to have some plans which are going to change over between now and July. I think by July that you'll be in a completely different mindset than what you are now. And she's saying to me here, she says, this lady here says, my bones were awful. She says, my bones were this arthritic or like a crumbling bone sort of disease or something like this. But she said, my bones weren't very good. And she says here that, she just faded away, she says. She wasn't very well sold at all. But that was her physical self. Her spiritual self is very much bouncy and vigorous and alive. And she just wants to say, yes. This is it. So good. Okay. If you'll pick up anything at all there, Priscilla, just let me know.
I'll let you know.
Colour purple. I'll carry on going whilst we're here. And they're also saying to me here, just to say to you, Mariska, would you understand here that there's a gentleman over here as well, and he was very high esteemed man, and he's right. Would you understand here that you've felt a gentleman is with you, but you don't know who he is? That's probably scary to most people. There's probably like, what the hell's going on? But to someone who's spiritual and would understand about spirit guides, animal spirit guides here, would you understand, Miska, about feeling a gentleman around you? You don't know who he is. As I'd say here, by normal saying, but this guy here has been with you, be standing forwards with you. Would you understand, Miska, that you're starting to feel a little bit more guided, sensed? So they're on one side here saying, don't make any plans, don't worry about things just yet. They're also saying to be here until July. This guy, this gentleman, very tall man, very angelic figure, is there to stand forward and work with you. And it is about healing, but it's also about more than healing. It's about connecting. Priscilla, if you'd like to say anything at all.
Anything at the moment.
No problem. It's good because as far as I can say, I'm thoroughly enjoying the interview with you. But this is what they're saying at the moment. If you want to say anything at all as I go through the readings here, by all means do. And do you know what I pick up here, Riska? And I also pick up this with you, Priscilla, as well. In fact, as I'm looking at you again, I'm getting more messages. It's weird. So you've got to come on a show more often like this. I just look at you and I get messages. Right. Would you understand here, Mariska, that there was a funeral that you went to, although we talk about funerals here, but you were the excuse my lack of knowledge on this. What's the person who sort of runs a funeral as the funeral director, but who's the person that returns to, like to say here, for the organisation of things within the family, something like this? What do they call that person? Is there a name for it?
I don't know the name of that. No.
Okay.
I don't.
The organizer. Okay, put it down. A funeral organizer. One who's in the family who's probably got their marbles about them. I'd say marbles. Sorry. So the same salt everybody else. Who's the calmest. Probably the most to be able to keep everything calm. Would you understand, Riska? You've been to a funeral where it's been like that, where you've been very much the person to keep the calm. It just feels like that there. Yes, may well be. Anyway, that's what I. Matriarch. Thank you, Helen. Yeah, the matriarch. Would you understand, Riska, about being a matriarch at a funeral where they needed you to keep the calm? If you're not the funeral director, no, I mean within the family, not within the funeral director. I know where you mean there. I do know where you mean. Right. Okay. Let's have a little look here. Where are you going? Oh, come on now. Off you go. There it goes. Good. Right. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Phil. Yes. She says yes. So good. There was something there. But it's interesting here, though. The energy of you, Priscilla, is crackling. It's always. Yes. She says I'm always the peacekeeper. The energy that comes off you is crackling. Now, if you get some, tell us some of the stories you used to get about. Doing funerals there where you got stuff through. Is there anything that you felt there that people were quite shocked that they received?
Yeah, there was one where there was a animal. I can't remember what the animal was. It was like a little teddy bear kind of type of animal. Kangaroo, I think it was. It was made out of flowers. And the person wanted it thrown down. And they were putting it all around the sides. And I just went, that needs to go inside. They want that inside. They were like, oh, okay. I said, just trust me, put that inside. So they put it down inside. So I just get the odd thing that comes through, or they'll tell me what's inside their coffin. So I'll be going to take pictures and they'll say they've got rum, they've got pictures. They'll tell me what's inside. I've had that happen before. And I've asked people afterwards, did you put this and this inside? They're like, yeah, we did. I was like, okay. Yes, I've had that before.
Okay.
I've had that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Quite interesting things, really, that have happened. Yeah. I was doing a funeral and then I ended up reading the eulogy. And that was because I was asked to. So yeah,
it's lovely to get that job, though, isn't it? It's a brilliant job to have the eulogy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so that's happened before. I've literally been told you need to be reading this eulogy, where someone else has got up and they don't actually really know the person, or they're not relaying it in the way the person would like it relayed. Yes. And I've had that said to me, you need to get up and do that. And I'm like, I don't know these people. I've done that a couple of times. I've been told to do that.
But but I can understand, because you've got that way about the personality that you will like lift them up, lift everybody up. It's not just about the person who passed over. It's about the people in the congregation. They need that lifting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember I went to a funeral years ago. I didn't know the family very well, but I know the man was a very wealthy man. And he said he was very, very selfish about money. And he says, when I'm buried, I want all my money to go with me to go into the coffin. So she thought, I don't know, I'm going to get that lot in there. Anyway, so came to the funeral, and everyone was expecting either money or like that to go in. And the lady walked up there. His wife walked up with this envelope and just dropped it in the coffin. And no one thought no more of it until after this, the wake said, "What was that?" He said, "Well, that was his money." She said, "That wasn't very much." She said, "No, it's a cheque. If he can cash it, he can have it."
That's funny. Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, really funny. Yeah, these things happen. They just, people do and say the most. I did a funeral once of a really wealthy man, and he died because he was speeding too fast in his new Lamborghini.
Oh dear.
And I did his funeral, and the people there were more interested in me capturing their designer outfit. Yeah, that was interesting. Did you get what shot my bag? Did you get this? And yeah, no. I did actually. I sense that it was more of a fashion parade. So
oh my God, that's this right. Chelsea, going to come back to this. This is hilarious. Debs, we're going to say this with Debs. Debs is my dad's mate's funeral. The phone rang in a coffin. Charlie was always a joker. Mrs. Energy. That's great. It'd be amazing if someone said hello.
Yeah.
Oh dear, hysterical. Right, okay. Chelsea says here, Green, advice for schooling path, please. Schooling path, that's interesting. Schooling path. Okay, so as I'm just bouncing around here with energy, just pick it. Okay, first of all, I've got to. Right, okay, Chelsea, this is going to distract you from schooling path. I'm sorry about this, it's going to distract you. Because I've got ladies here coming through from the spirit world. And I know you're not feeling well, but this is going to cheer you up big time. Because they're holding up to me here big hearts. Very big hearts. And one of the ladies here tells me here, I don't think she's like a grandmother or anything like this. She's telling me more that she's an auntie and that her name starts with B. Like Beatrice, or for instance, something like this, but it starts with B. And show me a big heart, because she says here you're going to there's a relationship coming up for you, and there's a big love thing. So how the heck that's going to cope with your schooling path? I haven't got the foggiest, but it sounds like a very nice time. I hope he's not the teacher. Anyway, but I just pick up here that it's all right. She's over 18. But no, she's got to university, I think, aren't you? And but have I looked about the schooling path? I would say here that yes, I can understand confusion, because they show me here crossed paths, like which way should you go? What I would like to say to you here is, whatever was going on back in September, October, about the path you wanted to take then, there's something about that I think is important for you. So if you're hedging down that particular path, that would be magic. That would probably be the way to say to you here. But I think you're going to get a little bit distracted because there's this love life coming up. But that's be interesting. I mean, at the moment, we're a bit stuck here in England and in Spain because there's, I don't know what it's like out in America at the moment regarding lockdown, but at the moment you've got about 3 chances of finding a lover. It's either going to be the dustman, the milkman, or the postman. You don't see anybody else. Locked down. Yeah. But no, there's a new relationship coming up. They show me a big heart. Yes, so good luck to you. Good luck to you there. Hopefully, Chelsea, that'll get you ready. You're ready there. Maybe it's the doctor. Maybe he's nice. Yeah, nice young doctor for you. But yes, it should make you feel better. Right. Okay. So yes, would you like to say anything there? Chelsea's a lovely lady. She's quite young, and beautiful soul.
Do you know, I've had one thing, and that's June. I don't know why.
Actually, okay, June. So the month of June. And it's interesting here what you're saying with that, because I was going to say July, but I was going between June and July. And I'll be honest here, I'll go between July, because whatever's going on there is going to be very clear and evident about what you're doing. And you'll be making some very good decisions, I think. And I think June is also going to be an awesome month. Yes. I think July time as well, when things start to pick up a little bit. I know we're all, don't be too disheartened, everybody, wherever you are in the world here. It's time, just relax, go through it, let things change, and they do. But we're going into a new era, and just process the change and go through it. Don't try to hold back to the past, I would say. Guys out there, girls and boys. Yes. Okay, let's go and have a little word down the road here with Cheryl. And Cheryl's gone for pink. She says, a general reading, please. Pink. And pink's quite a nice energy here. I feel with the colour pink, it's always about it's not necessarily, it's about protection. It's also about love, and it's also about a lovely energy of lightening up oneself, feeling a bit warmer, feeling a bit better in oneself here. And they're showing me here, if you pick up, as I say here, Priscilla, if you pick up anything at all, just let me know. But we'll come back and have a couple more conversations about your work. But if I describe Cheryl, she's a beautiful, beautiful blonde-haired lady, and she's got lovely children. And as I'm working with your energy to pick up here, would you understand, Cheryl, that your ear's been ringing? Your phone rings, but your ear's been ringing, and like you feel like people are talking about you, or you need to listen to information. And then the information you could receive here could well be from an external source, like a conscious source on that side. And just saying to you here, there's you need to listen to things, listen to your senses, listen to that, thinking, okay, this is what I'm picking up. And maybe you've been ignoring things a little bit, but they're trying to nudge with you here. In fact, your grandfather's here. There's also a vicar behind you as well. Yes, there's a vicar here who's in a spirit world with you. Whether he connects with you, and I just pick up John from the spirit world here, and they're coming through to say to me here they're connected with you. But what they're wanting you to do here is, would you understand that you're turning your hands into more creative things, looking at creative to bring you peace, whether it's like, okay, for instance, like flower arranging or the arts or anything like this. But I'm picking up that a little bit. It's funny actually, Priscilla, as I look at you here. Okay, right. I've just seen that comment from Chelsea. I can put that up a bit. That's hysterical. But they're laughing with you. Anyway, right. But Cheryl, this is what I say now. As I look at you, Priscilla, and I work on Cheryl here. I would also like to say here, Dad, Father over there, Father in the spirit world. It's funny. I look at you, and I get these messages. And I'd also like to say here, but you've got I got envelopes. So it's about mail, messages, or things like this you're going to be receiving. And but watch for the messages that are going to start to come towards you. I think it's going to be a lot. Some of it I think is going to what you're going to pick up, but some of it here I think is also how people are, what you're writing for, or what you're wishing to get back from people, messages you want back, communication here. It's going to be interesting.
I'm getting betting office.
Oh, go for it.
I don't know whether...
Go on, brilliant. Yeah, go on. No, that's fantastic.
Whether there's going to be some sort of a win, but I'm hearing betting office.
If you win, Cheryl, don't forget who your psychics are. That's fabulous. There. No, I think that's absolutely cracking. And so okay, that's nice. That's going us up to here. Now, Chelsea says, I've been saying recently that I'm not interested in relationships right now and will only be focused on university. That made me laugh. Well, it's going to be interesting because they're giving me these hearts. It's just hysterical. Good. Yes. And Deborah says, Cheryl is a beautiful soul. So I think it's Cheryl, whatever you're doing, the most important thing in a minute is Listen about change that's coming in. Beautifulness is coming out by what you're going to be doing. And if you're going to be working at a betting office, well, that's hilarious. Or whatever you're betting on. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, that's how they come. Sometimes,
no, but that's how they do it. That's exactly how it is. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yes, yes. Now, we've just coming up to the hour, and I just want to say, Priscilla, this has been absolutely fascinating having you on. Now, what I'd like to do is to offer you the opportunity to do the other work we do, which is cafe networking, and which is to interview you on a Monday morning sometime in the next sort of few weeks or so, and you'll meet my other colleague Mila. And we'll do an interview with you for Cafe Networking, because I think your work is absolutely phenomenal. And I'll tell you about that in a little while. But I just want to say, it's been the most awesome, touching experiences I had. And to talk about this with you, and the love in your heart and your love for people, to be able to capture those moments, I think is absolutely beautiful, awesome. I mean, I think you're a very precious, beautiful soul. So thank you so much. And if there's anything else you would like to say, or anything, any other things you could think about there, just entertains and warms us about that feeling of passing.
I would just say, one of the things I do like to say to people is that remember whoever it is that's passed, remember what they liked. Try to remember what it's their day. It is technically their day. You're representing them on their day, so try to give them what they ask for. It's easy to do what you want, but it's very important to do what they ask for, because it's their last thing they can control, the last thing they've got a hand in.
Yes, it is right. And I'm just coming back up the reel here. There's one more I've just seen from Deborah. I was going to nip up here and just do this. I'm going to go and find her. She just says, anyway, Joe, I think here that you are asking, was there something about your love life? And no, it says Colour Red Love Path. Please, just found it. Good. Yeah, the news feed went on the producer's line, which is probably due to atmospheric. But Joe says a Colour Red, a love path, please. And so, Joe, if I was to say to you here, would you understand one path has come to an end? But it's come to an end, but it was right to come to an end. But would you understand there's another opportunity? No, not another opportunity. Would you understand a love path has come to an end, but you've got to give this time, and you need time, because would you understand healing, please? Healing with this to see where this goes in the future, because it doesn't mean to say it's over and done with, but this means to say here we just need time. And the colour red, sometimes with this, is a very strong colour with this. Sometimes we get a bit hot with emotions and hot with feel a bit anxious about things. But I'm just picking up here just to say to you, that's what I would say there. Say with that there too. If that's yes, that's the energy that I pick up there. Just don't worry. Maybe a particular relationship's come to an end like this because it's supposed to the way it is, but it can change and then move on again. And maybe this is something you're looking at. Okay, so if that works, they're good. Yes. Okay, and just we're talking here, Helen was actually, she was the Helen. She's gone for the colour purple. Yes, blackout, lost the electric downstairs. Oh dear. Lucky we're all right upstairs. Anyway, so Helen's actually written, she got purple and general reading. Now this is interesting actually, because Helen, similar to what you're doing, you capture the moments of life when you're doing photography. She was the very first lady in Ireland to drive the hearse, which contained her father. Inside contained her father. Was her father in the coffin. And the funeral director was in the car with her as she slowly drove the hearse down to the funeral, down to where the church was going to be. And it was all over Sky TV, I think it was, wasn't it, Helen? Yeah, Sky TV and a few other places. But she got that wonderful opportunity to drive her father to the funeral.
Oh, lovely.
It's absolutely lovely. So we get those special moments in life, don't we? They're absolutely awesome. Yes. Yeah. And yes, I know she's laughing there because I think it was a lovely moment there for her. Okay, Helen, I got a lady here. She wants to come through. And actually, as I'm picking up you straight away here, this lovely lady, the way she's coming through, I want to say, now it's interesting, this name has come up before, but I've got to say, a lady here whose name is Anne, but she just wants to give me Anne. It is just Anne. And as I'm picking up here, there is something about baby boys. Where this comes in here, baby boys, and also, would you understand if I said to you here, there's a watch that has been handed down through the family, and would you understand here that there was a young boy who passed? I don't know anything about this with you, anything about this at all, but the young boy who passed, but there's a special moments coming up for you, which is going to bring through. It's funny here, they're telling me you're going to pick up the most oddest of ways that you're reading in very unique ways. It's almost like, as you're saying here, you capture moments at a funeral, just like you're doing there, Priscilla. Or actually get the opportunity to do something. But as a medium there, Helen, you'll be picking up extraordinary messages in particular ways. And that's the yes, my second cousin. Yes, he says that there. And so that's what I pick up here. And I think it's interesting this information comes across, because I've been shown this, but something's coming up here to go over this somewhere. Something's going to be coming up here to rekindle this. But I think it's going to be very interesting. And they're saying to me here that there's a lot of care over there that's being sent down to a man now. Man who's around you now. There's been a lot of care. So there's a gentleman around you who's not very well, but loads of love and care is coming down from the spirit world to care. Your father's up there. Your father is very, very happy with you. He winks like this. He says Bill. He says Bill. I don't know what your dad's name is, but he just says here, Bill is there. And he's also wanted to say here that he just finds what the work you're doing with absolute love. And there's more of a love emotion thing that's going to start coming through from you, from the readings that you're doing, which is really going to touch people. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And yes, they're telling me, he's telling me here, he says here, some point this year you're over. Oh, right. Your dad's name is Bill and he will wink. Oh, brilliant. Good. But he's doing this. He just says to me here, halfway through the year, I've got to go around to about July or August, maybe June, halfway through the year, you're going abroad. And it's work related. It's work related, yes. And I think here this is going to be an important time. He says here, be important for you. And he says that you've got some. Now I think I know I'm going here. But would you understand it? Some cheering up you've got to do. Some cheering up you've got to do with the people around you at the moment. Say, come on, guys, lift your spirits. Don't get downhearted. Keep everybody up here, because I just pick up. Some people are getting, oh, my health's not right, so I'm moaning, and there's a sort of heaviness there. And sometimes, come on, uplift, get your energies up, Yeah, your mind's not ill, your legs or your feet or wherever it is may be complaining, but the rest of you is fine. And she says, yes, okay, just pick up this here. And but it's interesting now, Priscilla, if you've got anything at all you'd like to say to Helen, by all means do. But she's her energy is very open, lovely lady.
No, I've got nothing coming through.
No worries at all. Priscilla, what can I say? But I thought this is one of the most special times going. Yes, but I can see there, just seeing a message there from, well, just seeing this down. I put my glass on, I can see this. Right, Lisa, have I missed my reading? I did write. I didn't see your reading being written in. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. But not to worry, because we're back on Wednesday, and we're also back on next Friday as well. Next Friday, fabulous lady coming on the show. She's an artist. She does paintings and she also does readings. And she's going to join us. Her name is Monique, and she's French. And she's going to be joining us next Friday, and it should be a wonderful evening indeed. So look forward to seeing her. But Priscilla, this has been so touching. I've absolutely loved it.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I just hope it develops more and more.
Oh
And then I
yes,
can.
oh yes. This is the
Yeah.
times that you do it, and sometimes you get those funny little things that come through, but you learn to trust it, and away you go. But I think for this evening, I think it's more about those special moments towards the end of life that you have there that you
Yeah.
capture, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think people would love to read your blog, and
Yeah.
if you also got on that blog there, if there's anything there that shows the pictures that you take of people's funerals, I'm sure it will absolutely bring a lot of special feelings towards people, especially people who passed over. But as I was saying there, sometimes you go to funerals and they're wonderful at the moment. Then you go back a week later and the weather's blowing everything across the graveyard there, and you lose those little memory cards there from people and the little lovely little words. But in fact, you capture them by the photographs you take. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Oh, I think you've got a wonderful eye for detail there. And everybody's saying here, lovely evening, lovely to meet you, Priscilla. So absolutely wonderful. But we'll catch you again very soon. But thank you so, so much. Been so engaging.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Phil.
Hang
Thank
on
you
the
very
line.
much.
Hang on the line when we end, and we'll have a chat. But in the meantime, guys, have a lovely evening yourselves, and see you on Wednesday. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, I've got to do that bit. That's it.